Terrible news. I've glutened myself. I cannot believe I've done this. I'm at my new job. We've just finished, so I'm just going to quickly talk about what happened, if I can. This morning, I drank oat milk. Not gluten-free oat milk, regular oat milk. Big sips, 2 huge sips of it. We'll talk about oat milks later, but the gist of it is basically I'm relearning how to make coffees, and today someone ordered an oat chai latte, and one of the hardest things for me is like learning how to do the milk properly. So there I was making a chai latte, making the milk, did the chai latte, handed it over. Oh look, there's still a little bit of chai latte in the jug. Why don't I try it to see if it was okay, like good temperature, good consistency, etc., etc. I just drank it. Twice. Not a thought occurred to me in those 2 sips that was a bad idea. It wasn't until I'd swallowed the second one where I was like, what have I done? And here we are. I'm gonna finish closing up and I'll talk more about this soon. Honestly, I cannot believe it. It has been a year and a half. Do you know what? I did one of those filters on Instagram yesterday, like a magic ball. You ask a question, it comes up with a random answer, and I was like, magic crystal ball, will I get gluten to this? I made that yesterday. Honestly, serves me right. Anyway, so I made a video of when I got glutened last time, which was a year and a half ago, so pretty good run if you ask me. And I sort of tracked what my symptoms were over a few days. I think I'll only track my symptoms over the next 3 or so days because that's when I think it's normally the most interesting. But for now, let me tell you what's going on inside my body. So interestingly, I didn't immediately feel unwell. So something I usually experience is within about 15 or so minutes of getting glutened, as I get burps, I get hiccups, I get just sort of gassy, just sort of bloated, and to be honest, that's not happened this time. And that might actually be because I didn't have much gluten, but it was also an extremely busy day. I was running around, I did not have time to think about what was going on. But now that I've finished and I'm sort of like in a calmer space, I do feel sick. I am burping, as you just heard, and my tummy does feel a little bit icky, a little bit bloated and a little bit icky. And just a fair warning, we will be talking about poop a lot in this video today because that is a good indicator for me about where I'm at with my glutening. And it's actually a really good time to talk about that because I have been very hyper aware of my bowel movements recently because I had about 2 or 3 weeks where I was quite constipated, but the last few days that's gone away. So I went back to sort of regular bowel movements. Sorry, there's people walking past me, and while I know you guys probably want to hear about poop chat, maybe they don't. Okay, so I have in the last couple of days gone back to a very regular bowel movement for me, which is pooping 2 or 3 times a day, good consistency, good shape, etc., etc. So it's a good base point for me to jump off and see how this glutening is going to affect my bowel movements. We love to hear it, don't we? In terms of other symptoms, definitely got a headache, but I have been very headachy lately. I don't know if I can put that 100% down to gluten. I haven't been wearing my glasses, and I should be, basically, so I've been getting headaches from that. But I do feel like it's more of a stuffy headache, as in one that sort of makes me feel kind of brain foggy, and as we know, brain fog is a symptom of celiac disease. And I do feel kind of achy, but I don't know if that's just because I'm tired, or I don't know if that's because where I am in my period cycle. So that's just something that I'm noting but can't directly relate to if it's got something to do with being glutened. The only things I can is funny tummy, bloated, burping at the moment, but they're the other things that are going on. Yeah, I'm not feeling so good. Yeah, so just got home. I don't know what it is about like just finally letting yourself rest, but I really don't feel good now. I've got a like more stomach cramps on both sides of my stomach. I don't know what's happening down there, but it's not comfortable. And I think I'm happy to say that the headache that I've got now is gluten related rather than the one I've been experiencing because of my not wearing glasses. But I'm being looked after. Not on the stomach, like. But yeah, for those of you who get glutened and get headaches, are you able to tell which headache is a gluten headache and which headache is like a normal headache or a tension headache or a migraine? Be interested to find out. Unfortunately, tonight I have karate, and it's not one I can necessarily get out of because I'm assistant teaching. I assistant teach on a Wednesday and I take my own class of kiddies on a Saturday, but tonight they need another adult there and that's me. Luckily it's just over the road from my house, so it's not like a big effort to get there and it's not too much exercise because I'm teaching. What have you been doing today? Did you miss me? I feel like I could just go to sleep. Oh, another interesting thing that I'm definitely going to be tracking is how long I sleep. Because I always find when I get glutened, and the same when I get sick, if like I have a cold or a flu or whatever, I always sleep much longer than usual. I've been wearing a Fitbit for the last few weeks just to see where my average heart rate, my average sleeping time is, and I'm basically always at 7 hours 50. Between 7.5 hours and 8 hours is basically how long I sleep each night. But almost always, if I get glutened or if I'm sick, it can be 9 or 10 hours easily. I've done a 12 once. When I had COVID, I literally slept for 16 hours. I really burped all the way home, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm getting some indications that I need to go sit on the toilet. Oh, I don't know if this has got anything to do with it. I'm really craving something salty, like crisps. I will mention this though, I almost always feel like crisps. They are my favourite thing to eat by far, but I'm specifically feeling like just salted ones. I also just farted, and it's not a regular fart, it's a gluten fart. Okay. Just about to head to karate now. I've been sitting down for the last hour typing out a recipe for my lemon butter cake, which is actually a really nice one. If you want to check it out, I'll put a link in bio. But I'd been sitting down for a while and then I just got back up and oh my god, I just feel so crap now. I have got a sore tummy. But also I said before, where I am in my period cycle, I am due to be a little bit more tired now, but I'd say this is like a little bit worse. Oh well, it's only an hour and a half. Oh well. Oh, did you get in the cupboard while I was chatting? That is a gremlin. That is a gremlin right there. Okay, well, I'll probably catch up with you guys after, so you know how I feel. But yeah, at the moment, I'm like a 5 out of 10. Like, it's not that bad, I just feel bleh, you know? Boop. Okay, see you soon. Me and my giant stick have returned from karate. How am I feeling? Well, very achy actually, like really achy in the hips. Who knows what that's about? Yeah, this is my bow. B-O, spelt B-O, not like bow and arrow. Bow is in stick, it's quite long. Yeah, karate was a struggle, but I knew it was gonna be. But yeah, really sore here. It's very achy sore, not period sore. So I'm not saying that this is for definite something that's happening because of the gluten. I'm simply just documenting my current symptoms. I'm also exhausted. I'm very tired. I'm gonna make myself some dinner tonight. We've got a curried, my camera's a bit shit. Curried paneer tray bake with turmeric yogurt, and that's a lot of dairy, to be honest. Sometimes dairy doesn't sit well with me, but that's what we're having. Someone just asked me what I do to mitigate my symptoms. To be honest, I don't know what the word mitigate really means, but I'm thinking that it might be like manage. And to be honest, I just try to drink loads of water and get as much rest as I can. I like to drink some like gentle teas like chamomile and that to soothe my stomach. It feels like it soothes my stomach. Probably doesn't really, but it feels nice and warm. But I don't take any probiotics or anything like that just because I don't know enough about it. I've never been advised by my doctor to take probiotics for if I get gluten, but you know, it's something that I haven't looked into, so if that's something you do, I'd be interested to hear your experiences with that. Yeah, now I'm just gonna cook my dinner. If I don't see you before, I'll talk to you tomorrow. It's the next morning. I'm just walking back to work now, and as predicted, very big sleep. I slept for about 9.5 hours and was woken up by my alarm, so I could have slept much longer, definitely. And I woke up with like a fuzzy headache, you know, kind of like a hangover type headache. I don't know if anyone else gets those, but that's what I got this morning. But I'm not bloated anymore. It'll be interesting to see how my bowel movements happen today. I'll let you know, I promise. But it does seem like this has just been a very light glutening, so I'm feeling pretty lucky. Last night I asked on Instagram what you guys do when you get glutened, and I got so many responses, the craziest thing, so I thought it would be interesting to go over that once I finish work, when I get back home. So that's currently where I'm at. Oh, still burping apparently. In terms of like appetite, I really struggled to have my smoothie this morning. I just felt a bit like, I don't want to eat this, but I am like kind of hungry, just hungry for quite specific things. Still craving salty chips though, so I have to find me some of them today. Whew. All right, I'll catch you guys after work. Okay, I'm back home from work. Look, I'm feeling all right. I think it was a very minor glutening. I don't think there is a lot of gluten in oat milk, and I don't react to oats, so if I reacted to oats, it would probably be a whole different story, but I don't, and so I think there was quite a small amount of gluten in there. I felt it, but I think I've been pretty lucky this time as to not have a huge reaction. In saying that, I do still have a headache, and I'm fairly certain that my joint pain from yesterday was related to the gluten, but I feel like I've gotten off pretty well. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't, even with only a tiny amount of gluten. So last night on Instagram, I asked, how do you survive when you get gluten? And as I said this morning, range of answers, and that's only increased, so I thought, why not go through them and let's just chat about them. Really quick story though. At work today, there were like a man and woman outside peering in. They're like around 60 years old. The woman comes in not wearing a mask, which is fine. It's not a rule here in the UK at the moment to not wear a mask when you're in, but you'll understand why I said that in a tick. She comes in, she's like, can I order this? I was like, yeah, that's fine, it'll be 5 minutes. She pays. She's like, oh yeah, I'll just be waiting outside with my husband. He just tested positive for COVID. I literally took 2 dramatic ass steps back. I really wanted to be like, what the hell? She's like, oh, it's fine, like he doesn't have any symptoms. Honestly, people. Okay, right. Let's just keep in mind, this isn't medical advice. These are just what people individually do when they get gluten. So please keep that in mind. So one that pops up quite a bit is sleep. Just rest and sleep. And to be fair, there is one that you can recommend because it's the best thing for you. It's going to heal your body. For me, it is the one I do the most. There are lots like curl up in a ball and cry, cry, heating pad, cry, cross my fingers. You guys are funny. Probably the second most common thing that people said they did was drink lots of water and also use hot water bottles on your tummy. I think that just makes you feel a little better. I haven't had a hot water bottle in years, but maybe it's something I should invest in. Give it a go next time. Play games on my phone while pooping. Can relate. Some people drink different drinks. A lot of them are peppermint or lemon and ginger tea, green tea, ginger tea, chamomile tea, stuff like that. Eating neutral foods, nothing that's going to make your tummy crazy. I think stuff that's like extremely spicy or anything that's hard to digest. Some people have said like staying away from dairy as well. It looks like some people take probiotics and enzymes. That's not something I know a whole lot about, so I've never done. Turmeric tea, that's different. Some people on the other end of the scale don't get really bad symptoms when getting gluten, so some of these are just like walk it off, have a sleep. Normally it doesn't affect me, stuff like that. Weirdly, one that keeps popping up is Gatorade. Is it a good hydrator? I'm not too sure. I thought it was just like a sports drink with electrolytes, I guess. Is it? I don't know.
Some people have suggested charcoal. I think that's a little bit dangerous sometimes because it can sort of absorb everything in your tummy. So I would only take that if a doctor recommended. Ice hat for migraines. Oh, an ice hat. Gotta try that. Oh, someone said eat marshmallows. Love that. So many people have just put curl up in a ball, wait for vomiting to pass, curl up on the ball on the floor, curl up and die. So yeah, probably the most common ones are sleep, cry, water, teas, hot water bottles, for some reason Gatorade, some types of drugs, being sad. Thank you to all those people that responded. That was very interesting. It's very interesting to see how other people deal with it. Of course, everyone really reacts differently to a glutening. I react differently to each of my glutening, and that sort of goes to show today. I will let you know how I'm feeling tomorrow morning, 48 hours after the incident. But my thoughts now is that I am feeling pretty lucky that I got away from it relatively unharmed. I mentioned briefly that I'd touch on oat milk. So Oatly in the UK is not considered gluten-free. I'm just reading from their website now. They've got a very interesting disclaimer before you look at the gluten-free page. Let me see if I'll just screenshot it so I can show you. Are you a healthcare professional? Hang on there, you're a cool person who's looking to read some extremely interesting scientific information on oats and plant-based nutrition. Before you take a look at the following pages and before you proceed to click yes, we have a disclaimer that we'd like you to read. What is this about? Why can't we know this information if we're not a healthcare professional? I'm going to click it anyway, even though that's a lie. Are Oatly products gluten-free? To be labelled gluten-free in the UK, products must contain no more than 20 ppm of gluten. We know this as a fact. The gluten content of Oatly products sold in the UK is not quite that low, so we can't claim that they're gluten-free. That said, we do have strict requirements regarding the purity of the oats we use, and we're careful to control and minimise gluten cross-contamination as much as possible. Because of this, we're able to ensure that all Oatly products contain less than 100 ppm gluten from wheat, barley and rye. Our products are therefore classed as very low gluten. Okay. I feel if I accidentally had one little tiny sip, I may have been okay. But I did have 2 huge gulps, and that was probably enough to set me off. How bizarre is that healthcare professional page, though? It feels weird that you have to be a healthcare professional to retrieve that information. But that information is pretty easy to understand by a lot of celiacs, so very, very odd. I wonder if any of you can tell me why it's like that. I would be interested to know. Anyway, in terms of the oat milk, I would much rather suggest Glebe Farm anyway. Oatly actually took Glebe Farm to court because they said that their labelling was too similar. This was their labelling at the time. This is Oatly's labelling at the time. I think they had an issue with the Oaty, but I'm not entirely sure. But Glebe Farm is a wonderful UK-based business, and they really care about the gluten-free label on theirs, and they are completely gluten-free. So this is where I'm going to leave it tonight, unless something crazy happens. But otherwise, I will catch you in the morning for a final symptom roundup. Good morning, everyone. It is almost 11 o'clock, which is exactly 48 hours after the oat milk incident. And so I'm just going to do a quick symptom roundup of the things that I experienced this time round on a very minor glutening. So I had bloating, gas, in terms of burps and farting, stomach cramps, fuzzy headaches, joint pain, crazy joint pain, like really bad joint pain in my knees and my hips. I don't think I mentioned my knees before, but my knees were like burning. Luckily that only lasted the evening though, so that hasn't continued on. Tired, lost my appetite a bit, and oh, I'm a little bit constipated now. So that is what I got this time, and honestly I think I've been incredibly lucky. I obviously didn't have that much gluten, probably only a tiny amount of gluten, but it's crazy how small tiny amounts of gluten can do that to your body. And I just wanted to put a reminder out there that everyone reacts differently. If you don't react at all, that does not make you any less of a celiac. Or if you're watching this going, you call that a glutening, I end up in the hospital. Look, fair enough. I really think that I came off lucky this time. But also be aware of that Instagram filter. I believe it holds answers of the universe that we might not be ready to know. I have to head off to work now again, so I'm going to love you and leave you. I hope this video was a little bit interesting for you. I was going to say, let me know if you like this type of video, but I will not be willingly making one of these again. I hope you understand. All right. Have a great weekend. Stay safe from gluten out there, and I'll see you soon. Bye.